Forward. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Adrienne Sungates. I'm the Executive Director of Chicago's Sister Cities International, which is an initiative of World Business Chicago. And thank you so much for joining us on day 4 of our week of 60th anniversary programming that explores work that we've all done together. Today, we're talking about community impact. And our organization is 60 years old with over 600 volunteers serving on 37 committees. And we've made an incredible impact in our communities, both in Chicago and in our sister cities. We've worked in schools, hospitals, neighborhoods, led cultural exchanges and art projects, and facilitated countless professional and best practice exchanges to help bring the world to Chicago and Chicago to the world. And today, you'll hear about some out of the many thousands of projects that our volunteers have undertaken to make the world a better place. Ella.
Thank you, Adrienne. Welcome to any new folks we may have and our returning folks. Thank you for coming to our Day 4 Community Impact presentation. We hope you've enjoyed what you've seen already, and we know that you'll enjoy what these last 2 days have to offer. Also, be sure to stay tuned for the trivia at the end, where you can win a $25 gift card to a Taste of Sister Cities restaurant of your choice. Today, we are going to be talking about community impact and the impact that CSCI has had over the years. I think it's safe to say that all of the previous days have highlighted that CSCI consistently leaves an impression on communities around the world. At the core of our power are our volunteers, and that means there are a multitude of people that have interacted with our work. Just one event can touch the lives of many, and that is the significance of our Community Impact Day. If this year has taught us anything, it is that we are more connected than we can ever imagine. Today, we want to tell you the story of 11 committees who have had an impact on thousands of people and counting, as many of their projects live on in our day-to-day lives. These events have taken many forms, but the core has always remained the same, an effect on the community they are targeting, as well as those not in that community. Today, you will hear about fundraisers, dinners, art exhibits, and public art. This slide highlights the work we've done just over the past 10 years across events, delegations, and our summit. Imagine these numbers over the course of 60 years. In 2014 alone, we had some 118 events with hundreds of people from Chicago and our sister cities in attendance. That is easily tens of thousands of people impacted in that 1 year. Not to mention, we started our youth summit, so we're already working on building the next generation of citizen diplomats who will make waves in their cities. Our impact is, dare I say it, impossible to measure. Outdoor art installations, such as the Athens Runner statue, one of the first things you see upon arriving or leaving O'Hare International Airport, one of the largest international airports in the world, are constantly having an impact. People take pictures and post our flags as well all over social media, some not realizing that sister cities did that. We go from Athens to our Mahatma Gandhi Luncheon, where we bring together members of multiple communities for an annual event looking at his work put on by the Delhi Committee. Here's a small clip of the lunch.
So this is the
fifth. Did I share my own? We love it. Okay.
So this is the 5th annual Delhi Committee of Chicago Sister Cities International Luncheon in honor of Mahatma Gandhi's legacy. This year is particularly special as it's the 150th anniversary of the birth of Mahatma Gandhi. While this event focuses on Mahatma Gandhi, this idea grew out of a recognition that Chicago is composed of many communities and that we have to honor all and exclude none.
I think that wraps up pretty much what we do, right? From our second of many public art pieces done by the wonderful Sam Kirk over in Casablanca, to the members of the Warsaw Uprising here in Chicago from the 50th anniversary in 1994, being honored at the Cultural Center. From the reciprocal mural done in Chicago by Dynam from Casablanca, to the Circle of Life garden that was built for organ donors in our sister city of Galway, to the Toronto mural on a whole overpass seen by who knows how many people daily by Justice Rowe, to the Grenier Garden, graciously donated to Chicago by the city of Galway, to the reciprocal Toronto mural that was completed by Kirsten McCrae, we have a consistent impact on the lives of officials, mayors, and citizens of Chicago and our sister cities. Our community impact is immeasurable because we are everywhere, all over the world. When you really think about the impact we've had, I hope your heart soars with pride like mine does when I walk by one of our art pieces or see one of our events on social media. It is because of you all that we have been able to last for 60 years. Perhaps one of the best examples of our community impact is our partnership with the Lynn Sage Breast Cancer Foundation. Since 2009, Lynn Sage has invited young doctors studying breast cancer from our sister cities to Northwestern for a summit where they learn and exchange best practices about breast cancer. Over 200 doctors have come to Chicago and thoroughly enjoyed their experience. In an effort to increase the enjoyment of their experience, a few years ago, Christoph of the Hamburg Committee recommended a Chicago Day. This was an opportunity for community members to take the doctors from the sister cities on a local tour of Chicago. It was a success, and we are grateful to the committees that participated to ensure these doctors went back home raving about Chicago. Now we will hear from Yuri, co-chair of the CAVE Committee, about the impact that they have had in the Chicago and CAVE communities. Yuri?
Yeah, thank you, Ella, for the introduction and for this opportunity to present. So, welcome to the CAVE Committee. Actually, in preparation for this presentation, we discovered an interesting statistic that over the years, the CAVE Committee held approximately 143 events, which is approximately 5 events annually. And today I would like to briefly present 3 of them, which had a substantial community impact. In 2006, Modernism in Ukraine. It was a major exhibition of early 20th century Ukrainian art artists. It was held in Chicago Cultural Center downtown from July to October 2006. And the exhibition was featuring 21 Ukrainian avant-garde artists over 70 works. So in the international avant-garde movement that reached its peak at the beginning of the 20th century included many influential, innovative artists from Ukraine. And elsewhere, and also in Ukraine, during the Soviet Union times, these artists were often persecuted and executed. And in 1930s, most of their works were banned or destroyed. And nearly 2,000 of these works were confiscated by the government during the 1930s, and only 300 of them remain today. And 70 of them were presented at this exhibition. It had a tremendous success. About 40,000 people attended the exhibit at the Cultural Center, and the event had huge media support, and it was covered by Chicago Tribune, Chicago Sun-Times, Daily Herald, and all of the Ukrainian media. Also, in conjunction with the CAVE Committee, the Department of Cultural Affairs developed the series of programs, including concerts, gallery talks, lectures, and Ukrainian Film Festival. We can move to the next one. In 2016, the Friends of Ukraine team at the Soldier Field 10-mile run. The Kyiv Committee was an official participating charity of the Soldier Field 10-mile run, and Ukrainian Americans created their own team called Friends of Ukraine. And this event takes place usually on Memorial Day weekend to express gratitude to soldiers who've given their lives for freedom and democracy. Next slide. Our goal was to raise awareness of Ukraine's continued fight. As you know, there is still war going on in Ukraine right now. For Ukraine's fight for the independence and also honor the US-Ukraine military relationship. At the same time, we wanted to raise funds for the financial help to wounded soldiers from Ukraine. Over 50 runners and volunteers assembled for this Friends of Ukraine event. And this year, 2020, was to be the year 5 of participation, but it was canceled, unfortunately, due to the pandemic. Do you have a clip? You don't have a clip? Okay. There was a clip. So 3 soldiers from Ukraine actually were here in the Chicagoland area. They participated in the event. They were undergoing a physical rehabilitation in the area, and NBC5 interviewed them, and it was on air on NBC5 Chicago. And the third event that I wanted to present is the 2019 fashion show. It was the pre-COVID when we everybody could gather and have these wonderful events, and it was a very successful one. The fashion show featured the designs of a top Ukrainian fashion designer, Oksana Karavanska, and our goal was to raise funds for the Kyiv Committee and also to help support the renovation of our sister school, the St. Nicholas Cathedral School. And this event was an absolute success. It was completely sold out and exceeded all expectations. It was emceed by NBC5's reporter and Emmy Award-winning journalist Natalie Martinez-Gama, and it was held at the Ukrainian village neighborhood at the school's gym, but the gym actually completely transformed. It was underwent an amazing transformation into a high fashion event venue. Next slide. It shows the results, and it was a huge success. The net revenue after all expenses was $33,000, and a check in the amount of almost $18,000 was presented to the school for the renovation initiative. Of course, this success was in part due to the support from the school and their time and dedication. And this is a summary of the impact that these 3 events had on the community.
Yes, you all have had an amazing impact on the community, and we'll pull up the clip a little bit later. It's on Facebook, so it's a little hard to pull it up right now, but we'll pull it up and everyone can see just how much you all have done for Kyiv and for Chicago. So thank you very much, Yuri. Next, we'll have the Lahore Committee. Tariq Milhans and Dr. Tariq Butt will be giving a presentation about all of the work that they have done over the years. Tariq and Tariq?
Yeah, that's easy for you, Tariq and Tariq. Good evening, and this is the first and foremost, I would like to congratulate Yuri for Kyiv Committee, because Kyiv is also like a sister city to me. I have visited that, but Chicago, Lahore became sister city in 2007. And we had so many events, and my really partner in crime, Mr. Tariq Milhans, who has been a great brother and great source of support to us. So you can see in 2010, August 30th was a very unique day when we were able to do a very large event, and it was actually inspired by Senator Durbin. Senator Durbin saw the flooding impact in Pakistan and humanitarian crisis. And we teamed up with him, and Mayor Daley said, I'll co-host that event at Cultural Center. So that was so beautiful. And the Governor Pat Quinn said, I'm with you, I'll work with you. And then Alexi Janulius, who was then state treasurer, he came along, Secretary of State Jesse White. So we really had a very important and critical event. And we teamed up with Red Cross, for the first time. Red Cross teamed up, and more than $34,000 were raised on that evening, and more than $500,000 were raised subsequently to that. And that all was donated to folks in Pakistan at that time. And that flooding was so huge, and its impact was just unbelievable. As you know, CNN sent Sanjay Gupta, whose mom is also was born and raised in that area, and he covered for CNN, Pakistan for that event. So you can see that, this really went across all kind of communities. They all came together, and I was so happy that we were able to really pull together so many folks. And Mr. Malhans, was already at that time served the city of Chicago as comptroller, and he was able to, help arrange few meetings earlier in his private office also. And we really had it. It was very largely attended. We don't have a picture of crowd, but there are several which I'll share with you later. But I'm so happy to share this event was really to show that it's not only a sister city relationship with Lahore, but it's a doorway of friendship and gateway to friendship with Pakistan. And we will help everybody and anybody we can. So you can see how all the public office holders came, all the organization. Thank you. The next thing is it's so heartwarming, and you can see, you see all these children, they are homeless youth from Pakistan. And as Mr. Malhans and I always try to work and figure out ways that how we can bring other cities into sister cities. So we thought that whoever will play soccer the best will bring that team to Chicago Kicks Cup, which is organized by Dr. Scott Hanlon, who's also a family physician like me, and also Chicago Sister Cities always supports it. And these children were so well behaved, and they are so skilled in soccer, and also at the same time they are really pursuing careers in education. And when they came, Consul General of Pakistan, Faisal Niaz Tirmizi, this is what you're looking at, hosted a dinner reception at his home, among other so many events. And everybody who came to to watch them. The initial inauguration ceremony took place at Millennium Park, and that was just a fabulous night. This team secured a second position, and they stayed at Illinois Institute of Technology, where there were about 11 different teams from around the globe. These children, now some of them are already in Oxford, London, England. Some were offered scholarships in the United States of America. They are very successful, some of them now, and some of them have done very well back home. And we continue to really have this commitment. We want to bring these children from Pakistan to America, and they bonded so well with school children in Chicago area. So this is very, very heartwarming and soul-warming. And you can see the area of art and culture. Lahore is a city which has amazing cultural institutes, even pre-partition days. It's an ancient town, and the link between Chicago and Lahore is strong. And we thought that Sadio Kelly, who's the co-chair and chairperson of our arts, and she always brings such great art to Chicago and from Lahore and all parts of United States and from the world, and combine it with music and poetry. And this event took place at Cultural Center. It was one of many events that she has done. And this really sort of attracted attention from all the artists around the United States, in Chicago, in Lahore, and in Pakistan. And also it was covered by our channels, geo channels, and also main channels here in Chicagoland area. The geo channel which covers, it calls like Safir Pakistan, which means ambassador of Pakistan. It has many, I would say North America, it covers whole North America, Canada, and United States, and also it covers Europe and Pakistan. So it has, many 100 millions people that it reached to, in one glimpse, So power of Chicago sister cities is beyond what I can really describe. That, it was so impactful and everybody enjoyed it. And you can see it was $10 per person. Where can you find this kind of entertainment? And like eventually the young guy who sang there was invited into in one of the Tonight Show, Channel 7, if I recall, at 10 p.m. and he sang there as well. So it brings very quality programs, and this really bonds in many ways, and it's a two-way street. Sadia is right now doing a documentary on Bipsy Sadhva, who's Zoroastrian, Zoroastrian, and she's a very good novel writer. And so certain events take place in Lahore and certain take place in Chicago. And it really continued to enhance bond between the two. Mr. Malhans, if you have anything else to add to it, because I know you have.
No, that's great. You explained very well. It tells that our community goes from art to fundraisings and a few more things to supports. So we are covering all the fields. So
thank you.
As you will
and like as Mr. Malan said, we always try to figure out that how we can really impact lives of folks in Chicago. Because as you know, as a family physician, I work in very, what we call MVP, but most vulnerable population, and provide them with COVID-19 services. And Mr. Malhans, as in his life, as comptroller of city of Chicago and county, always helped city and county to really have, good financial sort of health. So we also think that in Pakistan, the water, is something which is very scarce, because you saw on one hand flooding, and flooding is because we don't have enough places to store water which comes from rain. And how do you, and people don't have clean water to drink, and how do you really figure out a way also to help sort of nuclear ways to provide energy, so you can build the dams, and in 2018 we teamed up with you are seeing here, tiny bitty picture of, this is a senator from Pakistan, Faisal Javed, who came, and we really helped Chicago Lahore sister city help raise funds for the dam, and the dam has already started to be built now. So it will help alleviate the water shortage. It will help alleviate the dangers of flooding in Pakistan in certain areas. And also it will provide a source of clean water, because this water will be utilized and will go through the process of distillation and cleaning, so that it is this water people can utilize for drinking. And also it will produce electricity in non-nuclear ways, in cleaner ways, clean energy, so that people can have, in some rural areas and remote areas of Pakistan, electricity. It really, really will impact, I would say, the belt where you see these two dams are built, Dimer Basha and Mahman Dam. It will cover at least about 50 million lives. You can imagine the impact, because Pakistan has a population of about 200 million. You're almost impacting 250,000, and Chicago Lahore sister city is very proud to be integral part of that initial, even very, very in the early stages to lend our support. Here you see that, like United We Reach fundraising dinner, which United We Reach fundraising, and Mr. Malhans and I are very close to, you see Ms. Sabahat Rafiq. Dr. Sabahat Rafiq is actually from United States. She is really educator and also a scholar in Islamic financing. And on her left side, you see the education minister, from Punjab, and then you see a glimpse of me, and to her right, you see a very famous movie star, Luqman, and then you see Dr. Amber Kazi and Shehzad Kazi. So United We Reach, what it has done is, like, in the field of education, because it's very important that we have done a lot of exchanges between students, and at the same time, we want to make sure that we take some of our good quality education sort of structure through United We Reach to Lahore and different areas of Pakistan in many schools. So United We Reach has transformed education, and it's improving the quality of education. And purpose and aim of the event was to make sure that we really transform education for poor people. So the public schools in Lahore, they have acquired already about 18 schools, and the education minister really committed to acquiring. He's educated actually in America, as Dr. Sabahat Rafiq is also educated in America. So their purpose is, they have a model which uses technology. All students have iPads which are provided by them, and their lessons are already structured. The curriculum actually is at par with American curriculum and 21st century curriculum. And it teaches students not to acquire education to be job seekers, but to be entrepreneurs and job creators. And that's a very, very interesting goal, and very creative goal for children, to not only learn early on about time management and financial literacy, but also how to become entrepreneurs. And that's the core of this whole curriculum and instructions, are that, all teachers are, they have structured lessons, and technology is used to integrate those lessons. And sometimes they can have, like these lessons online, or like Zoom nowadays, and they do ask some folks, from educators from Chicago, to be part of it. As you know, that East West University, which is a smaller university, but it's growing now in Chicago, has a chancellor who's a Pakistani American who founded that university, and Congressman Danny Davis is also on board of that university. And we try to continue to have UIC and everybody else participate, in that education and curriculum development from their Department of Education, and also Chicago Public Schools. So with that, we are coming to our star program, Ramadan celebration. And as you know, month of Ramadan is very, very important month for Pakistani American and Muslim community in general. And we started, like, Mr. Milans will tell you also that early on in 2009, we started the first Ramadan celebration iftar, and it became like so popular that, like many organizations have followed through and started this tradition as well. And it attracts, public office holders. Whenever we have done it, you can see that, this is like 2016 picture, which was at Preston Bradley Hall. And then we have done now several at Alhambra Palace. And I know Ella has joined them, and Adrian also has joined it. And you can see, it's a very beautiful group of folks who come from all walks of life and from all ethnic backgrounds. I can see, people from Indian American community. I can see folks from, Ukrainian community. You name it. Chicago is a United Nations. We really are a city of big shoulders, and you can see that was cultural center. But we also have Alhambra Palace. We have very, very fantastic ambiance, and the food is just amazing. We couldn't do it because of COVID-19 this year, but we are almost confident that next year, I know that vaccine is coming, and it's coming shortly already, like by December 14th, it will be in some academic centers, and by January, February, it will be available, and we'll be able to really enjoy soon all these gatherings. And I really want to be there at that point where Lahore Committee can invite you all again to really gather together to celebrate. And we always like to thank everybody who comes, from congressmen to secretary of states to mayors and senators and everybody, everyone, you know, we like to thank them for coming and joining us. I think it's an amazing event.
आपका अपना सफीर पाकिस्तान नजर आता है। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। नाज़रीन, आपका मेजबान वक़ार अली खान प्रोग्राम सफीर पाकिस्तान के साथ हाजिर खिदमत है। कहिए कैसे मिजाज है? मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप खैरियत से होंगे और प्रोग्राम पाबंदी से देख रहे होंगे, क्योंकि ये आपका अपना प्रोग्राम है। सफीर पाकिस्तान, आपके जज्बात, आपके एहसास का तर्जुमान सिर्फ और सिर्फ सफीर पाकिस्तान, जो साल हर साल से आपकी खिदमत में।
It sums it up pretty good, right? Because you see, City Treasurer Miss Melissa Irvin came in 2018 and 2019, and she was giving awards. So you see this picture. This is at Alhambra Palace. And we mentioned earlier that it's really like the fun is that everybody waits till the iftar comes, iftar time, because it's always after the sun sets. So we always thank our guests who wait patiently for that time. And in summer, as you know, it was June 11th, so the days are long, and everybody waited with us and did not ask for food. It was almost like 8 o'clock, and then that's the fun of it, that everybody comes together and enjoy together, break the bread and enjoy the Mediterranean Pakistani food and a combination of things. And then the program is always like, it's very colorful, as you have seen. And the best part is that our sister city chairs come. I remember from Casablanca to Hamburg to we do get just about everybody. So this is Iftar impact is that Iftar has sparked other agencies around the city of Chicago to do their own dinners, including the mayor's office, which is awesome. And multiple people from different dominations, they have been brought together by the Iftar dinners consistently in Pakistani news, which you saw a glimpse of it, that program goes across North America and also, Pakistan and many other parts of the Middle East. And also, you can see that when we brought these homeless and underserved children, the best part about it was that, the Council General in Karachi, they were, Sister City helped us, in getting them the visa. The Council General who was stationed in Karachi became such a fan of these children that he always invited them at the American consulate in Karachi, and then some of them were invited to American consulate in Lahore, and they really invited them to 4th of July events or Thanksgiving events, and it became a tradition after that every American Consul General invites these children at every year, but this year is a little bit different. So that's really was the long and short of Chicago-Lahore relationship.
Thank you so much, Tariq and Tariq. Yes, you all have had such an impact both here and in Chicago and in Lahore. It's really wonderful. I do remember my first iftar dinner. It was such an opportunity to work there and to be in attendance as well. So it was truly a night that I will not forget. And last but certainly not least, we'll hear from Kimio Naka, chair of the Osaka Committee, and Yoko Noge-Dean, the former chair, about their work on the Kizuna project. First, Yoko will explain how the Kizuna project began and went for 5 years, and then Kimio will let us know about the last 5 years, their partnerships, and the events that they've been doing. You have Yoko?
Yoko, you're on mute.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, everybody. Hi. My name is
Hi.
Yoko Noge-Dean. Hi. I'm a former chair of Osaka Committee and also a founder of this Kizuna project. And I don't know how many of you might remember that the 2011 Japan had a terrible earthquake. And let me get you a recent number. I'm also a journalist, and also I'm a blues jazz singer. Well, earthquake, magnitude 9.0, and it hit March 11, 2011. And following major earthquake, a 15-meter tsunami disabled the power supply and the cooling of 3 Fukushima Daiichi reactors, causing a nuclear accident on same day. All 3 cores largely melted in the first 3 days. And the official figure shows there have been 15,899 disaster-related deaths. As of March 2020, this year, still 2,500 people about missing, and there are still 48,000 evacuees. So even it's almost 10 years from the disaster, we still have that sort of scar from that. And Kizuna was started because of this earthquake. And first I learned that, like Dr. Tariq Bhatt, CNN. And it was midnight, and I couldn't sleep because the images of the tsunami washing the whole town, whole seashores, and the brink of a nuclear accident was like giving you the idea of my home country is dying. My home country is disappearing from this earth. You feel that your home country is always there for you. And I've never had such a fear in my life that my home country actually might not be there. And it's dying. The fear was, I believe, shared by many, many Japanese people who live here and also abroad, and also in Japan. And this emotion and also empathy from people who watched this event, we were successfully to do the fundraising event at the Cultural Center, the former one. And we raised $70,000, teamed up with Red Cross, and governor came. It was a very fast fundraising event in Chicago for this effort, and also in the US too, I believe. So after that, my work as a journalist at the Nikkei. Nikkei is a Japanese business daily newspaper published in Japan. We have 3 million subscribers. It's equivalent to a Wall Street journal. And I had a meeting in Japan, Tokyo, with the head of the photo department. He's a friend of mine. And he said that Nikkei is going to put exhibition, photo exhibition of the earthquake. And he had a deal already with London and New York. And he asked me that, Yoko, can you put something up in New York? I mean, Chicago, we have 2 cities already. So I said, let me think about it. But he said one thing that hit me. He said that all the victims we and the photographer and our writers talked to in the Tohoku area, this disaster area, they said that they fear one thing, which that they will be forgotten someday. Memory would fade. So we have to keep this memory alive. I said, okay, I will do it. I will do it. And came back, and we didn't have any money for this, but somehow successfully made people involved. And that's the very key of this project growth, expanding the reach of people. And the very difficult thing was how we keep going this project for next year and year after year, because tragedy happens every day. And how can we make this voices alive? That was what we had to really think about it and be creative. So we had Bond of Emotion, the second year. And we turned this project into our own by involving the communities. So we did a big search on a community that Chicagoans' connection to the Tohoku, the disaster area. We found several Navy officers and other, the mother of the English teacher who lived in Fukuoka, Fukushima, near the nuclear facility. So those people's voices we focused, and we started to reach out in a bigger scale of the community. And we tried to keep a different theme every year. And our team became a sort of editorial team. And it's a, small exhibition, but our work was like 1 year of the work. It took us almost 1 year to develop the idea and develop the content and talk about what we do this year. And the number 5 also came. It was a landmark of our Kizuna event, which was the 5th year anniversary. And this one, we took a new approach of from photograph, still photograph, to video format, which probably was a very good thing considering what we have now under COVID situation. So we focused on the youth. We wanted to have a direct voices of people from victims' direct voices, not the photograph, not the caption, but the direct voices and images. So we were able to gather over 200 people, young people's voices and messages. And we translated, we made a caption, and we put on YouTube. So even now, if we like to watch them, we can watch them. So that was one way to keep the memory alive. And expanding this based on, Dr. Butt said, same thing. It's not only the city, but we were able to become the window to Japan and expanding our reach and expanding our member and volunteers. In 2014, fortunately, Japanese foreign minister recognized our effort, and I was honored to receive the award from foreign minister of Japan. So I really admire Dr. Bat, what you've been doing. And I think our heart is in the same place, that humanity and emotion and empathy, those things can be a very big driving force for the projects. And I think Kizuna was one of those. And last thing I have to mention, because of this expansion of the reach, I was able to meet Kimio Naka, current chair of Osaka Committee. And she joined us because of this Kizuna project. And I was able to convince her to succeed in my position because I thought there should be a new voices, new generation should come in. So now she was able to really build up on what we created and doing wonderful work. So I'd like to hand my hand to Kimio and ask Kimio to bring up to the current situation. Thank you. Kimio, can you hear me?
Kimio, I think you're on mute.
Yes, yes. Good evening, everybody. I am Kimio Naka, the chair of the Osaka Committee. Thank you so much, Yoko. We truly appreciate you for being there for the Osaka Committee after as an advisor, after serving as chair for over 2 decades. That's a long time. Yeah. So we always appreciate your advice and continue to support the committee. As Yoko mentioned, the Kizuna project brought many organizations and individuals together for the important cause to support the people of Tohoku region whose lives have been affected by one of the most powerful natural disasters recorded in history. I actually, as Yoko mentioned, I actually joined the Osaka Committee for this project. At the time of the natural disaster, I was working for an American publishing company in Chicago, and I saw my colleagues and at the company baking and in selling books to raise money to donate to Red Cross, and I was really moved by the gesture of my American colleagues, and I wanted to do something also, and then. In 2014, I met Yoko, and she asked me to join the Osaka Committee to help with get the Kizuna project. And I said, absolutely. I wanted to meet more my fellow Japanese. So this was a great way for me to reconnect with the Japan. So I have been leading Kizuna project for about 5 years now, building on the relationship Yoko has established while continuing to work closely with the major Japanese organizations like the Japanese Consulate, Japanese Trade Organization, Japanese Chamber of Commerce, and Japan America Society of Chicago. We are also building, finding new partners in Chicago. These new partnerships have been especially crucial for the photo exhibition because photo exhibition requires expertise. Like Yoko said, we don't know how to take photos, how to print them and curate them. So we were able to work with Professor Alan Lab from the School of the Art Institute and our committee member, Mayumi Lake, to continue the photo exhibition. And we were also through volunteers, we are able to find venues such as Chicago Public Library main branch, and continue to exhibit at the Daly Center, Thompson Center, the Japanese Consulate, and in the new partner like Japanese American Service Committee. So through the Kizuna project, we also made many friends. Ella, can you go back to Kizuna 6 slide, please? Yes. And we also met inspirational individuals who share the same philosophy of helping people in need. For Kizuna 6, we worked with Sato Takuma, a Japanese car racer who won the Indy 500 twice. He won this year as well. So he's been helping the people in the Tohoku region as well. So we this is a big project that it takes about. We always take a year long to plan and execute. So we are able to meet Sato Takuma, who's continuing to support the people whose lives are affected by the natural disaster. So we are inspired by his work as well. And we also were able to work with the local journalists and TV stations and radio station. They always cover our events. And Lola Washington, who is a ABC television political analyst and the columnist for the Chicago Sun-Times, she helped us being the MC for the commemoration ceremony for 3 years. So yes, we were able to, because of the magnitude of the natural disaster and what we do here, we were able to get media attention as well. We were invited to speak about the Kizuna project on WBZ Chicago Public Radio World View program. Unfortunately, this year we curated the photos, then the stay-home order hit and we could not exhibit the photos. So we did an online photo exhibition. But the good thing again is that through this project, we are meeting new friends, meeting new partners for the next 10th anniversary, which is a milestone. One of our volunteers, Alex Jania, he's a PhD student from University of Chicago in history. He researches the history of natural disasters in Japan. He's been helping a Kizuna project for the past 2 years. And he came to us and he said he wants to do a project with the University of Chicago history graduate students to archive all digital files we have from the Kizuna 1 to 10. So it's a great opportunity. We met with on the Zoom, we met with a history professor from the University of Chicago, and she said that she's very excited about this project and she hopes that this is just the beginning of an enduring relationship with the university and Chicago Sister Cities International. So we are excited about this 10th year, next year, and we'll do a Zoom commemoration ceremony, co-hosting the ceremony with the Japanese consulate. So yeah, and of course, our sister city in Osaka, the city of Osaka has been very supportive of this project as well. When then Mayor Yoshimura came in 2018, when then Mayor Yoshimura came to Chicago, he told us that he wanted to send high school students to Chicago to help them gain international experiences. So we said, sure, we're happy to help. And they came in March when we had the Kizuna commemoration ceremony, and the students were able to learn what it means to volunteer for a civic organization like us. And so, yeah, the city of Osaka has been supportive, and as Yoko said, that as Chicago's gateway to Japan, we are committed to continue to be to support the other regions of Japan, especially the Tohoku region, who is still working towards the full revitalization. So that's all from us.
Yeah.
Yes, if you want to learn more about the Kizuna project, please visit Osaka Committee webpage. You'll learn all about our project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kimio and Yoko. That was amazing. Can't believe it's been 10 years already since that happened. But we're grateful to you all for continuing to remember the victims of that terrible disaster. Thank you as well to everyone who's stuck around with us. I know we're a little over here, but we're going to go ahead and do trivia right away. So you know the drill if you've been here, and if not, you're going to go ahead and enter that code 9831860. into your phone at kahoot.it, and that will put you in as a player. It's only 4 questions, so it'll go very quickly. And we'll have an opportunity for you all to win a $25 gift card. Do we have any players? Kahoot.it. If not, staff is going to play and we'll all win, and then it won't be any fun for you all.
So do we put only game pin, or we put www.kahoot.it?
Put in, yeah, kahoot.it, and then it'll ask you
The
for
www.
Okay, is that what we have? We have the 4.
It looks like a couple people are still working on signing up.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, if we're ready, Anel, take it away. You might be on mute. Oh.
I am, and I forgot about the sound and the music, so bear with me 1 second.
Is that a new code, Anil?
Yeah, because we were kicked out somehow. I don't know.
I think that was everyone, correct? Is there anyone else who's going to join? Okay, we will start. Thank you so much, and sorry for having to restart. Quiz today. The Athens runner sculpture was installed in which year? 2011. 2 people got that right. Let's see what the scores are so far. Sherry in the lead, followed by Y.
Wow.
Okay. Second question. Murals can be found in which 2 sister cities? Answer is Casablanca and Toronto. Almost everyone got it correct. Congrats. And we have Sherry still in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we have people catching up. Third question. Iftar dinners celebrate of Ramadan. Okay, let's see what the scores are right now. And Sherry's on fire, 2,500 points. Last question. The Kizuna program will celebrate how many years in 2021? Is that the answer?
Not right. It's 10.
No, it's not. Let's see. Y is in second place, and then I'm thinking it's Sherry. She was way ahead of everyone.
All right.
Congratulations, Sherry. Let me stop sharing here. Congratulations, Sherry. We will reach out to you via email.
Oh, I was hoping I could make a little speech.
Oh, sure.
No, I'm teasing.
Yeah, we will reach out with a list of all the restaurants you can
All right,
get
thank you. That was really fun and super
is
testing
fun.
conversation today. Thank you.
It's definitely 10 years for Kizuna, if you hadn't heard that multiple times during the presentation. And also, as mentioned before, we had the clip from Kiev. You can find it on their Facebook page, the Kiev Committee of Chicago Sister Cities International. So we'll play a little bit of that clip just so you all can see what they were doing with their running.
Our military members this Memorial Day weekend. Thousands are taking part in a race that raises money for military members and their families.
And our NBC5's Emily Flores is live at Soldier Field where the 10-mile race is going on. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Michelle and Anthony. Yes, we already have the beginners. Those who started at the beginning came back and have finished. So it's starting to wrap up for those who, of course, are leading the race here. So this is such a beautiful event at Soldier Field, a way to kick off Memorial Day weekend. It's a race that benefits charities that go towards military members and veterans, those who have served our country. And with me is Vera to talk about one of the charities benefiting from today's race. Why are you here today?
We're here to honor our American Armed Forces and the charity that's being benefited.
So we have Vera, of course, there. You can catch the clip on the Facebook page for the Kiev Committee. And thank you all so much for sticking around. It's obvious that we can't contain our community impact into any small amount of time because it is just so vast. But if there are any last questions, we're happy to answer them. But yeah, thank you all for sticking around.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Don't forget, tomorrow is our last day. Same bat time, same bat channel.
All right. For the next year. All right. That's the beginning of 2021.
Exactly. We're going to be celebrating our volunteers, and if any of you are able to join us tomorrow, feel free to think about what volunteering means to you, what citizen diplomacy means to you, and what's been some of the most memorable, impactful programs that you've been involved in. And we'll ask people to share that tomorrow. So please feel free.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut off that fast.
Good night. Thank you.
Night.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.